This month for the Smash Those Small Pads collaboration, I smashed 2 pads and wanted to share with you how I did it. Hey guys, it's Beth. Welcome. It is time for the Smash Those Small Paper Pads collaboration that I do with Sarah, who is Crafting and Relaxing here on YouTube, and Kathy, who is Stampin' Cat over on Instagram. And this is just where we use a pad smaller than 12 by 12 and try to use it up. This month I did use 2, and I made recipe albums. I also ended up bringing in 2 12 by 12. One was a collection, and then one was a recollections paper pad. And I needed a 12 by 12 in order to help cover the outside covers of the recipe albums. But I used the Country Kitchen 6 by 6 pad from Cartabella and the What's Cookin' paper pad from Paper House Productions. And I don't even remember where I got that one. I don't know if it was Michael's or not. But then this came in an Echo Park warehouse box. I've had it for a few years and had been saving it. Actually, had been saving both of them because I knew I wanted to do recipe albums. But then my sisters and I were getting together for a sisters trip, and we were going to be going through pictures of my mom and dad's as well as some of my mom's recipes. And so I thought these would be great to use to make some recipe albums, and we can use them for like my mom's recipes. So I even went through and took some of the recipes that I had that my mom had handwritten and copied them so that we can all have some, you know, that are in her handwriting, and I will tuck those into the album. So I did 2 albums from each pad. So 2 from the Savor the Moment collection and the What's Cookin' paper pad, and then 2 from the Country Kitchen and the Big Recollections pad. So I'll start, they're all laid out the same, and I have a video that I will link below where I showed you how I made one. It's just like a folio type album, and I used a tutorial from Rosa Kelly to make the cover, and then just kind of winged it on the inside based on what I kind of knew I was looking for. I didn't want them like elaborately embellished pages. I didn't need a ton of pages because I didn't know how many recipes we were going to have. So I just did waterfall pockets here on the left, and just used some pattern paper to create the little strip pockets. And these are 5.5 inches, so they will fit smaller recipe cards. So like this is one of them that I scanned and copied, and it will fit in there. And then I have a bigger pocket here in the middle that you can fit a whole bunch in. So like you could fit a whole stack. So whatever doesn't fit elsewhere in the album, you can fit the whole, you know, bunch here in this pocket. And then I have 6 pages, 3 from each side. And so we'll kind of talk about this one. This is the first one that I made. This is going to be mine because there's some, this was my trial and error album that I used to figure out how I was going to make them. So, like I said, I just did 3 pages from each side. All the albums have kind of like a scene page, like on this first one. Like I don't know that I will cover this. If my sisters want to cover theirs, that's fine, but I liked the scene, so I was just going to leave that one as is. And then on the inside, where I could, I have tuck spots. So in a recipe can be kind of like tucked in and held on the page. I didn't want to glue any of the recipes in. One, because I want to be able to take it out and use it if I need to, or even if it was going to be left in the book, like then you can't see if there's anything written on the back side if it's glued in. So I created tuck spots. In the pages that don't have tuck spots, we will probably use some of those photo corners. I have a bunch of those that can be added, and that can be used as a tuck spot. But where I could, if I had some of the Country Kitchen ephemera as well, and so I used those where I could on this one to create just little tuck spots that will hold a recipe on a page. This one just kind of embellished. And then this is just another small pocket. And again, you can stick a couple recipes in that way. And then this one is a tuck spot. And then it also has a spot if I wanted to write anything. So that's kind of the basic structure of the album. They are 6 by 6.5, and they have 1-inch spines. And I used magnets. This one doesn't have, my very first one doesn't have good magnets, which is also why it's going to be mine. I need to figure out how to help this one stay closed because I didn't have good magnets, and so I ordered some for these later, the next albums that I did. But I embellished up the front a little bit. I reinforced the spines, and I used the 12 by 12 paper to kind of cover the spines, or to cover the outside of the album cover. So that's the basic structure. Here's the other one I did a quick walkthrough, the other one that used the Country Kitchen paper. Again, the waterfalls. And we can always add some photo corners here and fit another recipe there if we want. Here's that kind of scene page. The page is on this side, again, with tuck spots. This is a little pocket, tuck spot. So I just loved that Country Kitchen paper, and it coordinated fairly well with that Recollections pad. So that is that one. And then this is using the What's Cooking pad. And so I brought in the Savor the Moment 12 by 12 collection because it coordinated a little bit better with that paper. And then I also had in my stash some random sheets that were like cooking related, and so I brought those in since that collection, the 12 by 12 collection, wasn't very big. And again, pockets over here. And then I liked, this is from the collection, but then the 6 by 6 pad also had some smaller scenes. So another pocket page. And this one, I didn't have the ephemera, but I did use some of the stickers from the collection to jazz them up. And I still created some tuck spots. And then last one, similar waterfall as the last album, and similar pages, maybe just in different orders and with different embellishments. So I got 4 albums, and then I have recipes that came out of, I believe, the Paper House pad and recipe cards, and so those are ones we can copy some recipe on and put into our albums. And then I did have paper left from this What's Cooking pad because it was actually 36 sheets. The Cartabella was only 24, so it just did, you know, the 2 albums, and that was it. But I took some of the non-cooking related patterns and just made some cards. And I used the same style on all the cards except for like 1 or 2 where it didn't work anymore. And this worked really well because I took one 6 by 6 sheet and cut it into 2 pieces, or 4 pieces, I guess, but 4 by 5 1/4 for a card mat, and that left me with a 2-inch strip. And then I just trimmed it. I think this is like 4.5 by 2. And so I had, from each pattern, except for one, I got a card mat and kind of an embellishment strip. And then I just matted with craft cardstock, did the craft cardstock card base, added white and scrap on the inside. And then sentiments, I just kind of used what I already had stamped up that were already on craft. And then went in and added circles, punches of the pattern paper or the craft cardstock, depending on what I had left. So it's like the same layout, but some of them look different depending on the sentiments I used. The leaf pattern had a border around it. So once I trimmed off the border, I didn't have a full 6x6 piece left. So I got 2 strips, but only 1 card mat piece out of that. So there's another one. So I took the 2 strips that I had left plus the 1 other of that blue gingham and then just kind of created a scrap card. So there's 2 pieces with this blue kind of overlapping and then just brought in like some of the other smaller scraps on there as well. So I got, out of the 2 paper pads, I got 4 recipe folios and 8 cards, plus some recipe cards to use. So that used up both of these 6x6. And then it also used up the majority of this 12x12 collection because it only had 10 pages, 10 papers in it. And I still have a lot of this left. So there will be projects to come where I will go ahead and use these up. So stay tuned for that. But for this video, the 6x6, I have 2 more 6x6 pads smashed, and I have been saving these for just such an occasion as this of some recipe albums. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to check out Sarah and Kathy linked in the description box below. Thank you guys so very much for your time and hope you all have a very crafty day.